shooting this on a Huawei P30 Pro. Test it out. I've been making videos on an iPhone 8 Plus while my Samsung S10 Plus was messed up. Anyway, gave up on that and shooting on a P30 Pro. So we'll see how this goes. I'm kind of curious to see how the sound is. I've seen kind of mixed reviews from watching various YouTube videos. Anyway, so I'm just going to test this out. That's really what this is all about. Also to say that I went deep sea fishing last Sunday, and leaving out of Port Canaveral, Florida, got enough footage to debunk flat Earth with an iPhone 8 Plus, which should be a fun video. I'm waiting for some information from Patrick Air Force Base or Port Canaveral Air Force Base or whatever that is, just on some building information. But in the event I don't hear back from them, I can estimate and still make my point. But anyway, so look for that video to come. That's going to be a fun one. All these people with P900s and telescope cameras and whatever, and it was plain as day with an iPhone 8 Plus, which is pretty run-of-the-mill phone with not great photo equipment. But anyway, so if you're into that sort of thing, that'll be interesting. But anyway, one thing about this P30 Pro I'm pretty let down about, I guess. I was told by Huawei in a forum that the Wi-Fi calling would work on T-Mobile, and turns out it doesn't. In fact, the option isn't even there, like or Volt LTE or anything like that. So I'm not really thrilled about that, because I kind of rely on Wi-Fi calling a lot, because my certain places I go, the signal sucks, but we have Wi-Fi. So anyway, that is pretty much the only negative with this phone so far. Having used Apple for a month and a half, it's a little bit weird to go back to Android, but I'll get used to it. And plus EMUI is a little different. It's got EMUI 9.1. Kind of similar gestures to like the iPhone, which is better, but I find that iPhone does them a little better, if that makes any sense. So maybe it's just because I'm not used to it, I don't know. But anyway, so far everything else is great. I mean, the screen, they talk about the screen not being 4K. On a screen this size, who cares? The screen is beautiful to me. I've had the S9 Plus, the S10 Plus. I've never ran any of them on full resolution, only because the battery life. So it's not that big of a deal. It is an expensive phone, but honestly, if I could get the S10 5G right now unlocked, I'd probably get it, just so I could get back in the Samsung ecosystem, even though I'm furious at them. But whatever. I guess I'll just never be happy with a phone. I'm always looking for the next best thing. Anyway, so I'm going to upload this and see how it goes. And let me know if you know anything about the Wi-Fi calling for the P30 Pro, how to enable that in the United States. Because that would be awfully helpful. Right now I'm using T-Mobile Digits, which I think is kind of the same thing. But I have to use Digits as my messaging app, which is not a big deal, because I don't, do a whole lot with, messaging. I do just regular, whatever. But anyway, if you know how to get the native Wi-Fi calling to work, let me know in the comments, and let me know if you think I should get the S10 5G. Oh, that's the other question. Does anybody know if the S10 5G from Verizon, which is like the only one available now, comes unlocked, if I pay in full for it. I can't seem to find a definitive answer. Some people say that Verizon phones are unlocked. Some people say that they aren't. It seems to be that they started locking their phones like a year or two ago. Certain phones, which I don't really blame them. But if anybody knows that for certain or can point me in the right direction, let me know in the comments as well. Because if this Wi-Fi calling thing with the P30 Pro turns out to be a problem, I'm going to go back to the Samsung route or wait for the OnePlus 7. What do you think about that? Does it really have the pop-up camera and all that? Which I'm not really crazy about the pop-up camera, but man, if they could get a decent camera on a OnePlus, it would be pretty freaking cool. The 6T was just an awesome phone. I loved it, but the camera was kind of like, not great. So if they could figure that out, man, that would be something. But I'm going to wait and see probably until that the OnePlus event on the 14th of May, just to see, because I wouldn't get the 5G delivered before then anyway. So if I don't, if the 7 isn't worth waiting for, I can always get a 5G because it gets released like 3 days later. But anyway, I don't know if anybody knows any special info about the OnePlus 7. Let me know, because right now I don't have a whole lot of information on it. I just happen to see a rendering with the pop-up camera, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, watch for my Flat Earth Debunked with an iPhone 8 Plus video coming soon. It's a miracle that we still have these things to talk about in the 21st century. Anyway, like, subscribe, comment, thumbs down. I don't really care, whatever. I like hearing from everybody. So take care, guys.